So, it's time to go back to our tier list, and this time I changed a few things based on the feedback many of you have provided. Many thanks to all of you who commented your opinion about those tier lists, by the way. It was very helpful. For the most part, the reception has been very positive, and that's cool to see. I thought we could change things a bit today and check minor nations for once. France. Since it's the first video for this nation, let me remind you how I classify the tanks. Tanks are ranked based on their stats like armor, firepower and mobility, how good they are overall when stock and aced, if they have a lineup to work with, their performance in an up tier, down tier, etc. We have 4 categories, going from tier A to tier D. Tier A is for the best tanks of the featured rank, and they usually require very low effort when you play them. In other words, they are a safe value. B rank is for tanks that are easy to play but may have 1 or 2 flaws, which prevent them from being top tier. However, they remain very powerful and should not be underestimated. C rank is for tanks that aren't particularly original or which have better counterparts. Usually they have many flaws which must be taken into consideration when playing them. D rank is a rank both for very bad tanks, which you should probably consider skipping altogether due to their weaknesses, and for tanks that I consider niche. Those niche tanks are usually very map dependent or have such a specific gimmick that it's hard to play them in every battle to their maximum potential. With introductions out of the way, let's start this French tank tier list with rank 1. Usually I like to follow the wiki and rank tanks in order from left to right, but the rank 1 for France is all over the place. You have light tanks and medium tanks mixed together everywhere, so just this time we'll do tier by tiers starting with tier D. Our first tank today is the H39 light tank. This tank only fires AP and doesn't have a lot of penetration. Its speed is fairly low for a light tank, but its major weakness is the fact that it only has 2 crew members, which considerably reduces your surviving chances. The only positive thing about this vehicle is that it has a stabilizer active when you drive very slowly, and that it has a fast reload. The next vehicle in this tier is the S35, a medium tank which is barely an upgrade compared to the H39. The gun has slightly more penetration, you have 1 more crew member, but you lose a lot in the mobility department. If possible, don't bother using this vehicle. Next up is the R35 SA38. This one is also a downgrade compared to the H39. They have the same turret but a different chassis, and this one is much slower. The rest is very similar, and as a result will sit in D tier with its friends. Last but not least, we have a tank destroyer, the SAU-40. This tank destroyer carries a 75mm gun, capable of shooting APHE shells, which is quite rare in the French tech tree. This gun won't struggle too much against anything at this tier, but the main problem isn't really the gun. This tank destroyer is super slow and sluggish. Low tier is filled with fast and nimble vehicles, so the SAU-40 is having trouble keeping up with the action most of the time. On top of that, you have a very big and noticeable cupola, which is a massive weak spot. In fact, this cupola is so big that the enemy can shoot it before you yourself have an opportunity to fire back. Finally, with only 3 crew members, it will only take 1 shot to send you back to the hangar. Moving on to the C tier. Our first vehicle is the AMC-35 ACG-1. This tank is an okay light tank, with a very fast reload of 3.9 seconds. It has a slightly better forward and reverse speed compared to the previous light tanks we mentioned, while having more penetration and 1 additional crew member. The damage of the gun remains very low and you still only fire AP, so take a lot of ammunition. Overall, your first decent light tank. Next up we have the P70AA. This entire is only in C tier because you don't have any other AA vehicles in this rank. This one is honestly not that good, because as you can see, you have 0 armor whatsoever. The guns are also mediocre due to the fact that they only have 30 rounds loaded in each one of them, and you have something like 3 magazines in total before you completely run out of ammo. You have a long reload as well between salvos, which is a big problem. At this point, it's probably better to spawn in your own plane than in this if you want to hunt fighters or bombers effectively. The next tank in this tier is the AMR-35 ZT-3, a tank destroyer which looks very similar to an ASU-57. This one is pretty bad, not because of the cannon, but because of the chassis it is strapped on. I won't detail it too much, but once we reach tier A, you'll understand why this one is in C tier. Our last C tier tank is another tank destroyer, the Lorraine 37L. This time the gun is much better, since you can penetrate up to 105mm of armor. However, mobility remains very poor, and the big armored shield this tank has is very useless, for it only has 7mm of armor, which is paper thin really. Pretty much a sniper and nothing else, I'm afraid. Oh, and pray that planes don't see you, otherwise it's over for you since your crew is very exposed. We now reach the B tier with only one vehicle in it, the D2. The D2 is a medium tank, but once you start angling, this tank becomes a heavy one. Frontally, you stand no chance whatsoever, but if you angle properly, your armor will be very tanky and only a handful of tanks will be able to ignore it, mostly Panzer IVs using heat shells. This tank is good against inexperienced players, but requires a bit of technique to work properly. It is also a good introduction to the heavy tank line, which will have a similar playstyle, starting at rank 2 and above. Finally, our only vehicle at tier A today probably won't surprise you, but yes, it's a car. The AMD-35 is probably the best and your go-to tank for this entire rank 1 of the French tech tree. It carries a 25mm cannon, similar to the one found on a previously mentioned tank destroyer, but on a much more mobile platform. The AMD-35 excels in a flanking role where its fast reload and superior mobility can shine. This armored car also has 4 crew members and has no armor, which can be considered a pro or a con depending on how you see it. My recommendation would be for you to grind the entire rank 1 with this car only. It's a very fun vehicle to use and one of the best reserve vehicles in the game. No matter what, this car should be in your lineup. And that's it for rank 1. Overall, a difficult start for France. As you can see, this nation might struggle a bit at rank 1. Thankfully, the following ranks bring better toys to play with. Anyway, I hope you like the little tweaks I made. Since the concept is always evolving based on your feedback and my ideas, I might add more stuff to it in the future, but for this nation at least, we'll keep it like that. Once again, let me know if you agree or disagree with this ranking, and with that said, I'll see you in the next one.